Hello everyone, it's Nick here. It's time for a bit of a talk about something that's caught my imagination. Now, a little while ago, the blog isn't about this, or the vlog isn't about this. I did a vlog about the Spectrum Vega Plus, which I was interested in getting. Bit of a Kickstarter, a handheld Spectrum thing, but something's gone a bit off the rails of that. So it doesn't look like anything's going to be released soon, but I'll probably do a log about that at some point. But something that's much more interesting than that, really. When I was a kid, I'm not sure how old I was, but around about 1998, there was a fantastic show on TV. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's pretty cult viewing, called Robot Wars. Yeah, it's originally presented by Jeremy Clarkson, and if you're unaware of this show, basically teams of engineers, normally about 2 or 3, will produce their own robot of various weight. I think there's different weight categories, lightweight to heavyweight, and they would go into an arena and rip 7 bells out of each other to try and win a bout. It was actually classic fantastic viewing. Now, over the years, I think it only ran to about 2004, these robots got more and more sophisticated. They had things like pickaxes on them, buzz saws, pneumatic flippers to flip robots even out the arena at some stage. And while all this was going on, to make things a bit more interesting, there was the house robots controlled by the producers of the show, who would get involved if things got a bit boring, or if the contending robots wandered into the patrol areas. There was Shunt, Matilda, Dead Metal and Sir Kill-A-Lot. Now, Jeremy Clarkson often wasn't very kind to some of the robot builders. One time I remember him saying to one of the losers, "Did you find that in a bin?" I think they answered that they did. I think so. Anyway, the second series was presented by Craig Charles from Red Dwarf fame, with Philippa Forrester as well. And classic robots in the series that these engineers come up with was Razor, sort of like a robot that's like had this big pincer thing that come down and literally crushed things in two. Chaos 2 with a pneumatic flipper that could sped round the arena really fast, got a flipper underneath other robots and just power them out. And also, which really was my favourite one, a robot called Hypno Disc, which was this spinning disc which actually ripped other opponents to shreds. So there's flippers, axes, buzz saws, and quite often the engineers were odd people, and well, I shouldn't say odd, they're interesting people. So it was as interesting as seeing the robots as seeing them as well, and it was great fun. Now, in the time, they had a time limit, I think about 3 minutes or so. And if no robot was made inoperable, because that was the aim to see the win, then it would go to the judging panel, led by Noel Sharkey as the head judge, and then they would decide who would eventually win. Now, I always had a joke with a friend here that we should do a robot, but none of us were clever enough to actually think of one to get on the show. So we come up with an idea which they didn't allow for some reason, we never heard back. But our cheat was, one of us was going to be wrapped in tin foil to look like a robot, and then wander around with a rolling pin or an axe or something and just bend down and smash all these robots. The problem with it is that if you see any of these robots in real life, they're a lot bigger than you think they're going to be, and they could probably flip a car over and over. So there's no way I'm going to get a sledgehammer or a buzzsaw through my bum. So we scrapped that idea. Show came to an end in 2004, so over a decade ago, a long time ago. So why am I even talking about it? Well, it is returning. And it's returning bigger and better than ever. And I personally can't wait. This time it's being presented by Dara O'Brien from Mock the Week. It's going to be on BBC Two, and I believe it's starting on the 24th of July. So just in a couple of days' time from this recording. There's going to be 6 episodes to start off with, and as I say, everything is bigger. Now, the house robots I mentioned, Dead Metal, who has crab pincers and a circular saw, all the house robots are made bigger, and they're going to be about 200 kilograms bigger. That is huge. Shunt has a titanium swinging axe and a bulldozer scoop. Matilda has a power flipper capable of flipping 1.5 tons, and Sir Kill-A-Lot has a drill lance, he's the biggest robot, and Jaws capable, well, have a crushing force of 2.5 tons. So you don't really want to be messing with these robots. It's revamped, it's a new set, and the live audience around it are protected by bulletproof glass. It's a petrol head heaven, this thing. Now, the big advance nowadays from back in the day when this show was aired is power batteries are a lot more smaller and a lot more efficient. Now, because of that, there's more space in the robots these people are making and more power for crushing and everything. So this is going to be there's going to be sparks flying. If you've never seen this show and you're in the UK, you've got to watch it on Sunday. I think it's going about 8 o'clock, starting on the 24th of July, as I mentioned there. Now, these robots aren't just made over a couple of weeks. No, no, no. Some of them cost as much as £25,000. Yeah, so you imagine how you would feel if you spent ages building a robot at that cost. It went into the arena against another robot and was cut in half and obliterated. Well, the incentive is then to make a robot that's not going to do this, that has amazing weapons and just can kill everything. I can't wait to see these new robots here. So it's really high tech now. Yeah, so watch that on Sunday. Now, the good thing about this show as well, what was said back at the time when it was originally on, it inspired young engineers and people to invent. I only got as far as wrapping myself in tinfoil, which isn't really a robot. This on the revamp, they're only focusing on the heavyweight division. Before it was all the lightweights, and there was a few cheaty ones before where someone would just put the bare piece of metal over a radio controlled car, and that wasn't that good. Apparently there's going to be a few extra things to this show, so it's going to be more science orientated, so that's probably why they brought in Dara O'Brien. So yeah, what do you think of Robot Wars? Was that one of your favourite shows? Are you looking forward to it as I am, or did you not even know it was returning? If you've got access to BBC iPlayer, you can probably watch a trailer on it now to get your excitement going. But comment below what you think of Robot Wars or any other show you want to see come back. And until next time, have a great weekend, take care of yourself, and goodbye.
Goodbye.